What's up, you guys? James Strickland here with another In the Rack with Swimhack. So I've got 2 weeks of coverage, and I think I'm going to keep covering them like that because I've got a light week and a heavy week leading up to my next competition. It's going to be bench only, December 11th. We're going to be in Orange, Texas with an APF federation. So I'm very excited. I've got a couple of things I want to bring to you today, but first, I have got a sponsor for this video, and it is GymPin. So let's take a quick minute and let me give you a quick promo for these guys. I'll show you guys the GymPin. I've been using this for a while. You've seen it in a few videos, but it's spotlighting it today. I'm gonna show you guys what I do when I fill out the whole stack and I need to put some more weight on it. So here we go. It's as simple as this. GymPin right on. I'm gonna be putting extra 45 on it. This bad boy will hold probably 200 pounds or so worth of plates. So let's see what happens. Good stuff. Well, that's it. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. You can put it on the lat pull down stack. You can put it on any weight stack that allows you to put this pin on it. But check out the link in the description below. It's gym-pin.co.uk. Check it out. My promo is SWIM10 to save you some money, but check out the GymPin. All right, so shout out to GymPin. Here's one right here. This is actually the same one that I use, but just a quick little note. I do not do any paid promotion on this channel or on any of my social media. If I don't use the product and if I don't believe in the product, I am definitely not going to tell you guys to use the product. So just know that about me. I think y'all pretty much know, but if you're new to the channel, if you're new to me, you know, there's a lot of athletes out there, a lot of personalities that will just lie to you and tell you that a product is working for them, even if they get paid or not get paid. But just a little disclaimer, GymPin did pay me to have this particular placement in this video, but I use GymPin. I love GymPin. This is a very, very stout and strong piece of equipment. I believe in it. But you know, I just want to let you guys know that to be very transparent. You will never see a product placement on this channel that I'm actually endorsing unless I use it and I believe in it. Now, I might test out a few things here and there, but that doesn't mean that I believe in it, and you will know it. I will make it very clear to you that I believe in the product or that I don't believe in it or whatever. But I've yet to do really any true reviews that have been paid. So just FYI for you guys, I don't want you ever to think that I'm just getting paid over here to do product placements. But shout out to you guys at GymPin. Check them out for sure. The link for the link is in the description, as well as the promo code. I do get a little affiliate from that. So if you guys want to take care of me as well as take care of yourself by getting a GymPin, please do so. But let's go ahead and jump into this week's, actually 2 week recap voiceover. All right, light week this week, day 1. Got my 407 for 5 warm up. All right, moving right along. 455 for a top set of 5 on the light week. Feeling very strong. All right, gonna have some body weight dips here. Body weight being 295. Actually feel really good. Sometimes when I do these dips after my main sets, there's a lot of pressure in the elbows. Feeling good this week. Haven't done dips in a while, so maybe just that break has helped break that up a little bit, but we're feeling good. And dips typically, if we can keep them in as long as possible, they really help grow the triceps, really activate. Of course, we get really heavy with the weighted dips. Got the one arm lat pull downs here, just 50 pounds, nothing crazy. And we're just kind of making sure that we get a good squeeze at the bottom here. And these are not real heavy, but because they are one arm and because I'm already pre-fatigued a little bit, they really do light up the lats. It's not always about going super heavy. We'll see enough super heavy in the lat pull downs a little bit later in the video, but this is perfect for this particular set. Switch sides. And I mentioned this last week, but these can definitely want to hit the back at different angles as much as possible. Really hit that back. But depending on what angle you're hitting at, it might actually irritate your elbows, your shoulders, your joints. Switch it up. It's okay to switch that up. We have a lot of different angles that we can hit back at and different accessories just in general. So don't be afraid to switch up your accessories a little bit, especially if it's putting you in kind of a bind. Going to end this out with some tricep push downs. Again, not too crazy. Remember, it's a light week. We're trying to just relax just a little bit, not necessarily a deload, but we're not trying to fire off on all cylinders right now. And we got some banded flies with the 35s. Again, not too crazy heavy, just enough to keep those pecs firing off this week. All right, day 2, went over to Species Gym, also another great gym in Katy, Texas. 315, little warm up here. Just mostly showing the speed. I want to try to duplicate the speed as much as possible. 405. 495, all right. Good. I'm going to move on to some rows here with 405. Getting a good stretch at the bottom. Now, these are not extremely strict. I'm not too worried about it being strict. This is definitely serving as an overload of sorts. This is a light week, but as you can see, we got 505. This is a PR. My best ever is 500 for a set of 5. That was done about 2.5 years ago. Don't hit too many PRs on back rows, on pin delay rows like this, but today was a good day. Really getting a good stretch in there. I definitely felt these after, but I knew there was a lot more in the tank, so I walked away with feeling good, just knowing that I could have done more. Nothing crazy, not trying to prove anything with those. Moving on, day 3, just showing you some of my band work here. This is obviously a band pull apart, but I use this quite a bit for any of my upper body warm-ups, as well as when I'm just sitting in front of the TV at night. Sometimes I have a band that I will take just around with me around the house. I know it sounds crazy, but when I need to get a little stretch or get a little blood flow, this is a great exercise to open up those shoulders. Get a little soreness in there, it really helps out. This is my tricep warm-up here. I'm gonna show you kind of a front view, and then I'll turn around here in a second and show you what it looks like, how I'm kind of stretching the triceps there. But basically, I'm just trying to get those triceps to fire off. Really just, and I can feel these if my elbows are clicking a little bit. This really helps to kind of warm that whole joint up. So nothing crazy, not doing hundreds and hundreds of reps of this, just enough to get everything warm. I'm gonna do some band Y raises. And this is, it looks very easy, but it actually can be very taxing on those rotators. It's not meant to be a hard exercise, so you're not really, trying to max it out with your bands here. This doesn't have to be a stupid amount of band. All right, so we've got inverted rows here, 4 sets of 11 at about 295 body weight. Basically just an inverted row, just like it says. It's literally doing the same as a seal row, working very much the same exercise, but if you don't have a lot of weights to deal with, then you can do it with your body weight. Moving on, I've got some one-arm landmine presses just to get those shoulders activated. We can go super heavy on shoulders because I'm definitely capable of it, but it doesn't mean you always have to do it. Just because you can doesn't mean it's going to help you get stronger or peak. The shoulders are extremely healthy. This is keeping them healthy, keeping them maintained. Occasionally I may bump it up and do an overhead press that's heavy, but it's not going to have to stay heavy, heavy, heavy until the meet, because the whole point of it is to relax and get my bench up for the meet. So this week we got another tricep ladder. We've got 100 reps here. I'm going to speed it up here just in a second so you don't have to watch every single rep. Obviously went a little slower than this, but pretty excited that these are progressing nicely. 4 sets on this one, and I don't remember the exact reps, but definitely less reps than the previous week per set, or more reps per set, and less overall towards the end because I got more front-loaded reps in the whole set. But definitely a tricep pump for sure. Definitely one of the last things I want to do because it definitely is very taxing. It's pretty much like cardio. And that's going to end the tricep ladder. All right, I'm going to work on some neutral grip lat pull downs. It's 180 pounds for a set of 10. Feeling a little spunky today, I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely feeling the energy coming back from the couple days of lighter work. Was very excited about the PR with the 505 on the rows. We're gonna move this up a little bit and go 246 for a set of 8. Wasn't really sure. I was just kind of working the muscle today. Really just not worried about the weight. I didn't even know what this was until I actually calculated it on the 3rd set and realized what I had. So I was pretty excited that 246 felt like that. Went up 20 pounds for a set of 8 here, 266. Keeping really good form. I'm happy with this. So after this set, after looking at the video, kind of seeing how the form felt, kind of got a little bit of a wild hair and decided to put on a little bit more weight. So we got a PR here, guys. 343 solid ass pounds for a set of 5. And I like the form. I am happy with the form. I'm not using too much body English. And, you know, this is the heaviest that this pulley system has ever held. And I'm happy that it's holding up. So shout out to those guys over at Fitness Destination. Going to end up the day with a couple of sets here. I've got some biceps. You guys don't see me do a hell of a lot of bicep isolation exercises. My biceps are plenty strong. They're not a problem in my bench as far as stabilization. So it's really a little bit more aesthetic than anything else. I just want to kind of make sure that I'm keeping them looking nice for the wife. But honestly, I just want to make sure that because of all the tricep work that I do hit the biceps. I don't want them to get a lot more, I don't want them weaker than the triceps in relation. Got some 95-pound dumbbells here for 3 sets of 15 on shrugs to round out this day. Very, very exciting light week. It's fun to say that your light week involves PRs. All right, so on to the heavy week. So this is exciting. Day 1 here, 407 warm up. Fast as hell. I'm happy with that. Got a 501 warm up here. This is what tells me how the day is going to go. Boom, lightning fast. I am extremely happy with that. So we're going to move on. Top set of the day, top double that I've had since the last 6 months or so. Who am I kidding? You already saw on the thumbnail. 575 here for 2. Watch how it moves. Feeling very steady, very fast. Get my balance here, nail the 2nd rep. I had several more reps, that's for sure, but today called for 2. We're shut it down at 2. Let's move on to some static holds. I got a 718 here. This felt light, scary light. I would be lying to you if I didn't think about maybe doing at least a negative. But in due time, We got some speed reps here. 510 pounds, 3 sets of 2, first one out of the way. That 718 made that 510 feel extremely light. Hiking myself up here a little bit. Boom, motivation is at an all-time high. I actually felt like I got more energy as the workout went on. Very, very scary place to be in. Very exciting place to be in. Last set of doubles here. Boom, faster than they've been. Third set, fatigue set in. Boom, fastest those doubles have felt in a while. So we're gonna move on to some banded bench. This is 407 starting out with 80 pounds of band tension at the top, like it was nothing. Felt like butter. Very excited there, because I struggled just a little bit with that a couple weeks back, and it was easy today. All right, we got 507 as a top set here, and 80 pounds. So it felt roughly about 580 or so at the top, I would say. Obviously, just a hair heavier than what I went on my main set, but having this kind of energy and this kind of speed at the end of the workout after 12 reps of 500 pounds or more, I'm very excited with that. Very, very excited. I'd be lying to you if I didn't feel it the next day, but at this particular time of the workout, felt amazing. Gonna do some banded floor flies here. Again, you guys probably heard me explain this before, but if you guys are new to the channel, I like to do floor flies. It keeps my shoulders healthy, keeps me from getting too far into the pecs. And if I were to lose one of them, I'm not gonna tear a pec dropping it. It's not gonna be very far to fall, so I'm not on a bench. Plus it limits the range of motion and really keeps it in the pecs. But got double bands here. Not sure what the resistance is, but it's adding quite a bit of weight. And then I've got 65 pounders here. So the pecs at this point are definitely feeling the burn, but I want that explosion off the chest. I want that 700 plus pounds to feel like butter coming off the chest. I don't want to struggle with it at the bottom at all. I want that to be my strong point. So big back, big pecs, big bench. All right, we're bumping it up just a notch on these one-handed lat pull downs this week. Up from 50 pounds last week. We've got about 10 more pounds on it. Again, fatigued from all the bench sets, all the flies, and this doesn't need to be super heavy. It just doesn't. These are one arm, so it's definitely a little bit heavier than doing two arm in relation, but definitely hitting the back. You can see I'm really leaning into that, getting that lat fired off. And to round out the day, some tricep push downs. Nothing crazy heavy, 105. And this is after obviously all the bench sets and the static holds and the band work. So the triceps have already gotten some work today. This is just to really isolate them, really feel that extra burn, and to get rid of any extra energy that I have for the day, because the triceps will not be worked for a couple days. We were good to go. All right, moving on to day 2. So I'm going to show you my warm-up that I use for my leg days. I like to roll out my feet a little bit just to loosen up any tension in the toes, any tension in the bottom of the feet. You'd be surprised. This can alleviate headaches, muscle soreness, you name it. This is just a relaxing thing to do. It helps really get the blood flow into the legs and into the feet, so you can really feel while you're squatting and deadlifting, you really get a good surface area. I like to do some banded pull aparts here, really just open up the hips. So I've showed you guys this in past videos, but I want to show you kind of an updated version. Still at it, still do this. Really helps open up the hips, opens up the glutes, just helps everything start firing off. And obviously one of my favorite things to do, and I do this every single workout. Doesn't matter if it's leg day or not. I do this on bench day because it keeps my legs from cramping up on bench, which has never ever been a problem since I started foam rolling. And obviously you can see this is a PVC pipe. It's a 4-inch PVC pipe. So it's a lot more sturdy than a foam roller. It does not give at all. It really helps to really dig in, massage those sore muscles and get them loose. Really helps get that IT band loose, but it's not for the faint of heart. If you're not used to it, it's going to hurt you at first. The first time I did it, I had to just ease into it. Now I can just really push into that thing and it doesn't bother me at all. But I use this for anytime that my legs are sore, anytime that I need to roll out on my back. You'll see in a second here, I'm able to get into my traps, my shoulders, my lower back, my hips. I mean, I really am able to just lay on this. And this is an abbreviated version. I'm kind of skimming through it here, but I spend a good 10 minutes rolling out. Just depends on what I need. It really helps open up that vertebrae a little bit. And I do it between sets even sometimes. All right, so nothing crazy heavy. I'm just gonna show you a couple of squats here. Nothing crazy heavy. I repeat, just working on 405 here, firing off, keeping good form, just keeping the legs firing off. I'm doing a couple of sets of singles here. Nothing crazy, just really getting those hips open. Just pausing it, firing off, done. That's it. All right, so we're gonna do some deadlifts today. Got 473 serving as a warm-up, but I'm also gonna be doing some heavy rows, so this is a warm-up for that as well. You see I got the straps on. This is 505, 507. This is for a set of 3. Doing a little wider stance here, keeping the hips in there. I'm using straps here, mostly because I'm going to be doing this for a row as well. I've beltless there. I've now put a belt on. This is serving as a warm-up for my heavy rows for the day. 507, just get a nice little stretch there, done. And we're gonna get amped up for this one. This is probably the most exciting lift of the week. I did not go super, super heavy on my rows last week, even though they were a PR. This is a 20-pound PR from the last week. 525 pounds done on kilo plates and a stiff bar, no doubt. Here we go. Boom. Boom, there it is. Booyah, man. I have more. But again, leave it in the tank. Leave it in the tank. That's what I always say. There's no reason to go super stupid heavy. And believe it or not, that wasn't super stupid heavy for me. That's scary. That's scary to think that I could do more. All right, so I've got my day 3 here. I'm actually at Dynamic Fitness. Inverted rows, gone up a few pounds on my body weight, just gone up a couple reps on the inverted rows. You can see obviously the bars here, not quite the caliber of the Texas Power Bars that I am used to, but no less it'll hold me. All right, so I'm using the GymPin here. You obviously heard about the GymPin earlier. Got about 250 plus 25 here. I really didn't count, and this was more of a warm-up for the set you saw earlier. Got some lat pull downs here, 170 for a set of 6, also serving as a warm-up. And go our top set here. 3 sets of 10 with 250 pounds. Kind of a neutral grip, not quite neutral, but a little bit narrower grip. Feels good on the back of this particular set. I've been doing some wider grip stuff, obviously the inverted rows, different lat pull down sets that I've been doing throughout the week, and of course the bent over rows, all hitting the back. So this is just hitting what I thought was needing a little bit more work. All right, gonna work a little bit of shoulder here, nothing crazy. This is kind of serving the place of the landmine presses that I've been doing. So just sling those 75s up there and get a few reps in just to get those shoulders firing off a little bit. And throwing some shrugs in here at the end just for good measure as a warm up for my last set of the week. Last set of the week here. Going to go ahead and sling up the heaviest dumbbells I have in the gym, the 125s, and just getting some solid shrugs here, get those traps firing off. Really just working, getting a good squeeze. couple good still shots for Instagram, you know what I'm saying? And that will end out the week. All right, so I'm very excited, like I always say, but literally I am very motivated going into this meet. We got a few more weeks to go. We've got basically about 4 weeks, 4 heavy days of training left, which is very, very, it feels very, invigorating because I've been here before. The thing is, I want to basically recreate the last training cycle, but end in a very perfect peak. I feel that strength level was there last training cycle, but if you watch the recap from that particular meet, things just didn't come together on meet day. So this focus obviously is going to be on duplicating exactly what I know works in the past, and then taking that and actually making the meet day work as best as possible. Obviously, there's a lot of things that can be out of your control, but the things that are in my control, I'm definitely going to take advantage of. But, you saw the videos. We got PRs. Now, back PRs don't necessarily equivalent or don't equate to, big bench PRs, but my strong back is definitely going to be a good, stable surface to explode off of and to be stable for a big bench. So I'm just taking care of the weaknesses. Back used to be a weakness of mine. It is no longer a weakness. If you guys follow me for any length of time, I have preached over and over and over again, focus on your weakness. If your training is comfortable, then you're not doing something right. Now, there's a fine line there. You don't want to be stupid with your training and just be in constant pain, but you know where your weaknesses are. If you've been lifting for any length of time, you know where your sticking point is. You know where you're slowing down in your lift. You know what parts of training you don't enjoy. Those are typically the things that you need to focus on. For me, it used to be rows, any type of lat pull downs. I just sucked at them. Anytime I look at the stack, I'm just like, that's crazy. I don't want to do that much weight. It's uncomfortable for me. Now, I like doing it. It's really kind of weird. Now, there's not very many things that I don't like training anymore because I understand the importance of focusing on the weakness, but it's just a mindset change. Once you figure out how your body works and what is, working for you, you continue to do those things, and then you figure out what wasn't working for you and you strip those things off. But then you'll find out that there's certain areas that you need to focus on more than others. It is up to you to motivate yourself to actually focus on those areas, because those are not fun. Those are the things where you're going to get up, and I typically have those days. Normally it's the Thursday or it's the second bench training day of the week, where I'm just not really motivated, to tell you the truth. The day 2 or the day 3s, if you will, are not the days that I wake up going, man, this is going to be a great training day. It's more of, crap, I got to carve some time out today. I've got to go through the motions and get these things done, but I've got to focus on them, and I've actually got to put some emphasis on these particular lifts or these accessories, because those lifts will make me stronger for whatever the main goal is. And so they're not fun. They're not exciting. But when you start to get a little progression in those, when you start to hit some PRs or do little things in there, and it translates over to whatever that main lift is, in this particular case, in this particular training cycle, it's bench. I'm seeing the bench get easier as we go higher and higher and higher than it was in previous cycles. And that's where you get excited. It's just a little bit at a time. But every day is not going to be a great day. Every day you're not going to be motivated to go in the gym. That's life. So, all right. So I've got a couple of Q&As, and then I'll wrap this video up for you guys this week. First one is going to be right here on YouTube. William C. He asked, do you ever incorporate slingshot, bench daddy, etc. in your training? So I have in the past. I like both of those products. I have a few different ones that I've used. I've used the Titan Ram. I've never used the Bench Daddy, but I have used a Slingshot, the Mad Dog, some of the higher ones. Now, honestly, at this point in my training, I don't find it very beneficial, only because when I have to use that kind of tool, if you will, I am really, really heavy, and I don't find that the stabilizers and things like that are firing off correctly when I'm using it. I almost get a little too much help. So I tend to do bands a little bit more. And if I'm gonna do like help with the lift, it's a reverse band. So it's actually set up in a rack, and I have the bands coming down to help alleviate some of the weight at the bottom. Now, the bands that you've been seeing me do lately are actually adding resistance as I get heavier. So I'm actually working on sticking points. But at this point in my training, I don't have a need for the overload or the full range of motion overload that a slingshot would give. I do promote them, not heavily, just because I feel like you can get into a position where you're almost utilizing the tool a little bit too much. And that gives you a false sense of strength where you add an extra 100 pounds with a slingshot. And sure, you get the overload, but I don't see that it translates directly to the lift as much as maybe direct focus work. Now, mind you, I am an elite level lifter and I'm focusing on minute changes, not overall strength curves. So in the beginning, yes, I do feel like you could definitely use it, but you're asking me, do I ever? And that's why I'm answering it the way I am. But I do have some fun with slingshot. Let's just put it that way. You know, off camera and kind of off training cycles, I like to put it on and see how many reps I can get with a certain weight, or just, you know, go up to a certain weight and then, you know, add 100 pounds and see if I can get it. But it's more fun. It's not functional at that level. And I know those companies, they promote it as functional, and there is a fine line there. I just don't find it as an elite level lifter. And if you look around, a lot of elite level benchers do not use them. Not that they're not helpful to some people, but at our level, I mean, those mad dogs, they can only handle a certain amount of weight. I really feel like, you know, when you start throwing 700 plus pounds, they really can put you into a bind if you were to get out of the groove, and especially if you get back over your face, it's gonna pull it back down on you. Now bands can do the same thing, but it's a different feel. So hope that answers your question, William. I appreciate it. Next is Iron Banger, right here on YouTube as well. Ask, what is your favorite back exercise for a big bench? So my favorite all time is definitely the seal row. I just think it's the exact opposite movement of the bench. Instead of a push, you're doing a pull. So you want to be set up on a flat surface where the barbell is directly below you, approximately the same distance as your normal lift off and range of motion for your bench. And you just literally pull it up as far as you can get to about the same position on your chest, just flip downward. So you want to set up on a bench where you have that lower clearance. You don't see me doing a lot of them because I don't have the equipment to do it. And if I can get it, I like to do it. But you can definitely supplement those with dumbbells so you can get a little more range of motion. You typically see me doing chest supported rows where I've got an inclined bench and I can face down, and it's allowing me to get a little bit of a motion where I'm doing a seal row, if you will. It's more of a chest supported. Lately, you've been seeing me do the bent over rows where I'm able to get a really good squeeze, mostly because I'm not focusing on heavy deadlifts. When I'm doing heavy deadlifts, I typically try to stay away from the bent over rows because my lower back is probably already taxed by that point, especially if I'm doing like 700-800 pound deadlift. Even though 500 pounds is 200 something pounds less than that, 300 pounds less, my lower back is probably already taken a beating for that day. So I typically do either bent over rows with dumbbells by holding onto a rack, or you'll see me doing obviously lat pull downs and things like that to hit the back in various angles. But seal row is ultimately my favorite. I think that translates the best to a direct big bench and a big back. But thank you guys for those questions. I will be taking those questions through the comments, so leave one below. Email them to me, swimhack@gmail.com, and you can definitely see me on Instagram, so go ahead and give me a follow over there, @Swimhack. Shoot me a DM. I'm answering DMs and questions and comments, things like that, pretty much daily. Throughout the day, I'll just check my phone and kind of see what's going on. If there's anything it's a private question and maybe not want me to call you out or say that it's from you, just notate that on there. I don't have a problem answering questions from you guys in that fashion. If you need something, let me know. But that's going to wrap it up for this week's recap. I like the format where it's kind of every 2 weeks. I'd like to get one to you every single week and kind of format it, but life kind of gets in the way, and I'm kind of keeping a little bit of a format here. So I'm showing you guys my light week and my heavy week to promote how I'm actually doing this. And it's kind of a journal, if you will, so I can look back on my training and really follow along. Because sometimes even when I'm notating what's going on, to look back on it 2 years from now or whatever and try to figure out, okay, what worked, what didn't work, this really helps me to kind of wrap my head around, okay, I did a light week, which was this particular percentage or whatever, then my heavy week was this, and these are the kind of gains that I made, and this is how the cycle turned out. It helps me to kind of understand my own training, but also to share it with you guys. So I think I'm going to keep that format. It also allows me to really make sure that I'm giving you good video production and the sound quality, the audio quality, the sound quality, the video quality, just the graphics and things like that, I can really put together a better recap for you guys. And just, let me know if you like it. Definitely still taking suggestions. I'm still shooting some extra videos around about like the how-to videos on a lot of my bench programs, a lot of the accessories and a lot of the things that are on the programs themselves. And with my coaching clients, it's nice to have kind of a video library of how I would suggest doing particular exercises. So that's still in the works. So I'll be rolling that out and putting that on the website. And if you haven't been over there, go ahead and check it out. Benchonly.com. I have my programs there. So I've got 8, 16 and 24 week programs, all the way from full power, all the way down to bench only, kind of anywhere in between. I do some customizing programs, mostly in the form of coaching. So that really is a kind of case by case, one-on-one basis. But if something you're interested in, I definitely at least entertain the idea of talking to you with it. I don't know if I'm going to have a spot when you see this video. I do from time to time have one pop up, mostly because I've got a few people around the world in different countries where there's different restrictions in place where gyms are still closing. So there might be a 4-week, 12-week time span where we might be able to fit you in where somebody's not able to train. But I don't want to get too many clients to where I can't give each one the time that they need. I don't believe in just piling in a bunch of clients just for the sake of numbers. I really want to help you guys. But like I said, that's going to wrap it up for this week. Again, if you guys are not on Instagram, or if you are on Instagram and you haven't followed me already, check it out at Swimhack. If you're not subscribed to this channel and you like what I'm giving you guys, definitely go ahead and smash that subscription or subscribe button. Turn the notifications on. Please share it with your friends. I'd love to grow this channel. It's growing very steadily. I really thank you guys for tuning in every week, asking me the questions, staying in tune, giving me the support. And honestly, even you guys that are giving me a little hate, it's fueling the fire. I like it. It means I'm doing something right. If you have people that are kind of doubting you, that's just normal. And I feel bad that there's some people out there like that, but sometimes you kind of need to see somebody succeed in ways that maybe you didn't think were possible for you to get your own motivation. And if I can serve as that, man, I am blessed to get that opportunity. But I'm going to wrap it up for this week, you guys. Definitely check me out on all the social media channels, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.